Let's talk about Moses broke the covenant, the circumcision incident. After Elohim met with Moses at the burning bush, Moses began to travel back to the land of Pharaoh so that he could meet with Aaron and with the elders of Israel. During his travel, a curious incident took place in Exodus 4:24 through 26. And he was in way, in lodging, and Yahuwah encountered him, and he sought causing him to die. And Zipporah took flint, and she cut foreskin of her son, and she caused to touch to his feet. And she said, "That in-law of bloods you are to me." And he slacked from him. Then she said, "In-law of bloods, to circumcision." Moses and his family were traveling, and they were in lodging, and then Elohim sought to kill him. The passage does not say exactly how this was taking place, other than he sought causing him to die. In response, Moses' wife took a rock, and then she circumcised her son. And she said, "That in-law of bloods you are to me." And apparently, this caused Elohim to stop seeking to kill him. It caused him to slack from Moses. While the passage is somewhat vague, apparently Moses had not circumcised his son. And whenever Moses' wife took the rock and circumcised her son, at that point, the situation was resolved. No longer was punishment being sought at that point. So apparently Moses was violating the terms of the covenant, the terms that we see in Genesis 17:10 through 14. This is the Abrahamic covenant. "This is my covenant, which you shall guard, between me and between you and between your seed after you. Be circumcised to you all male, and you shall be circumcised, flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be to sign of covenant between me and between you. And son of 8 days shall be circumcised to you, all male to your generations, one birthed of house and acquisition of silver, from all son of foreigner, which he is not from your seed. Be circumcised, he shall be circumcised, one birthed of your house and acquisition of your silver. And my covenant shall be in your flesh, to covenant of obscurity. And uncircumcised male, which flesh of his foreskin shall not be circumcised, and that vitality shall be cut from its peoples. He caused to annul my covenant." Apparently, Moses' son was not circumcised. So Moses was violating the terms of the covenant. He was breaking the covenant, the Abrahamic covenant. But him having broken it did not change whether the covenant would be remembered later or whether the covenant would be remembered with others. And we see that Elohim no longer sought the punishment once the situation was resolved, once the terms were actually being followed, once the circumcision had taken place. And we know that the Abrahamic covenant continued because this is the stated reason for the Exodus, the remembrance of the Abrahamic covenant. So obviously, the events of the Exodus continued to unfold from this point. That did not change. Elohim remembers his covenants. According to Leviticus 26:41 through 45, even when our ancestors have broken the covenant, they are thrown out of the land of Canaan, they have violated his law, and they are experiencing the curses. And even when we are still in captivity, we are not in the land of Canaan, We are still experiencing the punishment for that violation. It says that if our uncircumcised hearts are submitted, that he will remember the covenant with Abraham, the covenant with Isaac, and the covenant with Jacob. And in verse 45, he says he will remember the covenant with our ancestors, the Israelites that came out in the Exodus. The covenant that he made with them, the covenant wherein he gave his commands, the Torah. He will remember those covenants. Thanks for watching. Be sure that you check out some of my other videos on other Torah issues, and feel free to stay in touch so we can continue this discussion. Thanks for watching. Remember the commands. Shalom.